I think some of the greatest stories that will ever be told will be from this system.
And I'm very excited for Zero AD.
Zero AD is Mary conceives.
Yes.
The angel visits her, she conceives.
So you want to be bigger than Netflix?
In order to build a competitor to Netflix or to Disney, it takes a lot of capital. There's 1.5 million guild members today, and they're actually funding huge amounts of TV shows that align with our values and are really good movies.
Thank you, Jeff, for what you're doing. I mean, truly, I think it's a gift to humanity. Family values, faith-based films, and basically good films are more in vogue now than they've ever been in the last few decades. And Hollywood and some of the weird and crazy stuff is now seen as not as interesting to many audiences today. The market is growing for family-friendly content, and not just any content, but excellent content. Today on the Lila Rose Show, I sit down with a man who used to be a poor potato farmer growing up in Idaho, who is now a co-founder of Angel Studios, which has brought you some of your favorite entertainment over the last few years, including The Chosen, Cabrini, Sound of Freedom, and many more. Today, we talk about how ordinary moms and dads are completely changing the name of the game when it comes to entertainment, how because of the rapid changes in both media and technology and culture, there is an opportunity like never before to create what is good, true, and beautiful in the arts. We also discuss what is coming up in the Angel Studios world and some of the films that I am most excited about. And we discuss what the future of faith-based and values-based content looks like in America and beyond. As always, here at the Lila Rose Show, we are trying to build a culture of goodness, truth, and beauty and feature the creators that are doing that out in the wild and building beautiful things themselves. If you want to join our mission, the quickest, easiest, and cheapest way to help is to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you click the like button here. And if you're listening over on podcast app, make sure that you subscribe over there. Leave us 5 stars and a review. That also helps the show to grow. Jeff Harmon, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Glad you're here. Thanks for coming in. I'm a huge fan of what you do, a huge fan of Angel Studios. So we were talking earlier, and I'm excited to share with folks listening about Angel Studios, the backstory, and then you've got some amazing films out that I actually just finished watching one recently called Sketch.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Yeah, Sketch is great. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And then I'm very excited for Zero AD, which is coming up.
Yeah, Zero AD is...
The Mary story.
Yes. Originally, it was codenamed The New Eve. So
love that title. Yeah. Kind of sad that that's not the title.
Mm-hmm. But zero AD. It's this concept where basically Eve is visited by the angel and then she conceives, and at the moment of conception is 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
The pro-life film of all time.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So tell me about Jeff Harmon, the backstory. We were talking earlier and you're saying, I didn't know I was going to get into arts and entertainment. And now Angel Studios is like one of the fastest growing, biggest studios in the world.
Yeah, I grew up in Idaho on a potato farm. 9 kids. I'm the middle of 9 kids. We were very poor, dirt poor. We worked in the dirt. We had 3 TV stations, so I'm not a likely candidate, or we're not likely candidates to be executives at a top 10 movie studio in the United States. Now, the one thing is a potato farmer invented the TV from Idaho.
Like what?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a potato farmer from Idaho.
Nice.
He invented the TV. He actually was looking at the rows of potatoes, and he had the idea of how to lay out the way that a TV has lines of light from the rows of potatoes.
Wow.
And he said he actually considered it like an inspiration and a vision, from a heavenly vision, to help him understand how to do it. And then he ended up in giant lawsuits with, I think it was RCA or some big brand at the time, trying to steal his
potato
vision. TV.
What year was that? Was that like 100 years ago?
It's a while ago.
Wow.
I'm not fresh enough on it to like pull up all the exact facts, but I know the general concept. But he was Idaho, and Idaho, we're farm boys, potato farms. And grew up very poor. We had 3 TV stations. If you took the hanger from the closet and hooked it to the antenna and then hung it from the curtain, we could get PBS as well, like a 4th station. And so it was not on my radar. Like, I just didn't want to be poor. And the non-poor people in the neighborhood were dentists and doctors and attorneys. And so I thought I'd be either a dentist, a doctor, or attorney because I didn't want to be poor. So, and then it was later on in school, university, that I had almost all my roommates ended up just serendipitously being filmmakers. They were studying film, and that's how I ended up being introduced to the film world. And then slowly through a series of events that turned into an ad agency, Harmon Brothers ad agency, where we did like Poopery, Squatty Potty, Purple Mattress.
The classics.
Yeah, really, really big viral ads. And then later that pulled us into the world of film.
So that was 12 years ago now? When did you start?
12 years ago was Angel. Angel started.
12 years ago was Angel. When did you start the Harmon Brothers ad agency?
A little before that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then during this time too, you're also a married father of how many now?
I have 6 kids.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah, 6 kids, 1 on the way.
Congrats.
Yeah.
So you're very productive
Yeah.
in more ways than one.
Yeah.
So I want to do a quick trip down memory lane, because I think the origin story is really beautiful that you came from the background you have. I mean, it sounds like your family, though, was this very faith-based, loving family.
Yes, we're a very faithful family. My mom and my dad took us to church every week, and we grew up believing and stayed believers. And it's a core part of who we are. And I think that's the reason why, like, if you look at them, everybody says, why did you create Angel? And then we're like, well, because we wanted to build the type of movies and TV shows we wanted. And that didn't mean faith-based movies, but it meant values-based movies. It meant movies that we did. It was hard even growing up to find movies that matched our values. And my mom had a rule, like, we couldn't even watch PG-13 movies until we were basically out of the house.
Good mom. That's smart.
And so we just didn't watch a lot of movies. We still don't. We still don't watch a lot of movies. And the hardest part for me is actually, the hardest part of this business is keeping up with the movies that come in and watching them so that we can know what to take in. That's the hardest part, because I don't watch that many movies. But we wanted a system for our families. And that's what Angel is. Angel is a system we built for us. There's a really great book. I recommend anybody who's an entrepreneur to read this book. It's called The User Method by Jeff Harmon.
Nice. Make a note of that.
In this book, he goes through and does studies, and his audiobook's phenomenal. But in this book, he goes through and does case studies on all the different unicorn companies. And he says, I don't remember which percentage, but the vast majority of unicorn companies that are worth over $1 billion, are made by entrepreneurs who are just trying to solve a problem for themselves.
Their own problem, yeah.
Yeah, so Steve Wozniak with Apple and Steve Jobs, Wozniak just didn't like the computer. So he made a computer he liked, and Steve was like, this will work. Let's go build a business out of this. Or the Airbnb founders were in San Francisco. They couldn't pay their rent. And they set up, there was a conference nearby, and they set up air beds from I think they bought them at the local Walmart, put air beds on their air mattresses on their floor, rented out their air mattresses, and paid for their rent for that month. And they said, why don't we turn this into a business? And they created Airbnb so that people could cover the cost of their rent by going to conferences. And that slowly turned into what now is Airbnb, which is like the biggest hotel chain.
Wow.
So there's Mark Zuckerberg wanted friends, so he created Facebook. And
now he has so many. Everyone wants to be his friend now.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But this is where these companies come from. And so I believe strongly that if there's a problem that you want solved in the world, then you go solve it, and you'll be surprised at how many more people want that same problem solved. And for us, that is just, let's make what we want for our kids. And what you're seeing is that there are millions, actually hundreds of millions of people that want the same thing we want.
Yes. And I think increasingly, because I think there's this pivot that's happening, or shift that's happening culturally, where people are so just burnt out on ugly, crass, dark, like negative, anti-family, anti-life stuff, anti-marriage. It's just
full of nihilism.
Yeah.
Just like
truly,
Hollywood is full of nihilism.
It's so true.
You get to the end of a series and you're like, the meaning of this movie is that there is no meaning.
Yeah.
right? That there's no purpose.
Or that it's even better to not exist in it. I think that's the other thing, like the anti-existence
It's
trend.
almost anti-life.
Yes, it's anti-life at a very kind of core way. And people, that is not inspiring, entertaining, or fun. So people, even the people who might be tempted to that worldview and they're just not really, locked in with their own values yet, it's still hard to consume that as entertainment even.
Yep.
And so the more, and then there's also the political dialogues, like the more woke you go, I've heard, go woke, go broke. Some of the most woke films, there's a Snow White catastrophe that happened recently and people were just not having it. And the film wasn't even that woke. I saw the film, we reviewed it, and I was actually, it's not that bad, guys. There's some lovely parts, but the whole sort of ecosystem around it is so highly politicized, anti-values, a lot of it.
Yeah, it's hard to rebuild your brand after you get that far off.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So you started with the marketing firm with your brothers. You end up becoming Angel Studios. Now, like you said, you're one of the top 10 studios, which is very exciting. I want to do a quick sketch back into time. Sketch, you hear that? That's the new film, guys. It's Sketch, one of the new films. But going back in time, just to take a little peek at some of your creative work, Jeff, because you are the chief creative for Angel. So you are the one, I think, doing the initial vetting for films, right?
Chief content officer.
Oh, chief content, excuse me.
Which in
Chief
my world,
content
that
officer.
actually means something very different than other worlds.
Tell us, what does it mean?
So a chief content officer in a normal studio is the one making the decisions about which movies come into the system. Mm-hmm. For me, that doesn't mean that I make the decisions. I've made good decisions. Like I called Dallas Jenkins and pitched him on The Chosen, bringing Chosen to Angel Studios, and he had a little short film called The Shepherd. I called him. I was like, "Can this be a pilot?" And he's like, "I've actually been thinking about a series like this." And I was like, "Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go do this." And or Dry Bar Comedy or Tuttle Twins, these big shows that people are aware of. I was good at it because I was making something I wanted for my family and my kids. Meaning I was making a platform that would host the shows I wanted. The filmmakers make the films, not me. And what I realized really quickly is, one, I don't want to watch this many movies every day to try to even keep up with having them come in. Number two is I'm not going to be the best person to pick all the movies. There's another really good book to read called The Wisdom of Crowds. It's like 20 years old. It's by James Surowiecki. And it talks specifically about how crowds under the right conditions are very, very good at having great wisdom. So the example he gives is Charles Darwin's cousin in the late 1800s, early 1900s. He's at a fair in England and they have this ox up on the stage, and you could do a raffle and you buy a ticket and you guess the weight of the ox and you get a prize if you're the closest one to guess the weight. There were 800 people who cast their raffles, and this cousin of Charles Darwin, and I'm gonna remember his name in a minute. He goes and he says, "Can I just have them after you're done? Because I want to do statistics." Because he believed in natural selection. He believed in that there's elite people that are way smarter than everybody else, and the experts should rule the world. He actually had that belief, and it's Francis Galton. That's his name.
Yeah.
And he goes and he gets these tickets and he tabulates them and he throws out the ones that are illegible and then he tabulates them. And the average vote was 1,198 pounds. And the actual weight of the ox was 1,197, I think. They had exactly averaged smarter than any individual guess. And he assumed the experts would know better. The butcher that deals with meat all the time, the farmer, the rancher, that each one of them would know what that weight of that cow was, that ox. But the ones who guessed are the average people, 800 of them all just taking a random guess, were within 1 pound.
Wow.
And he wrote down something to the effect of, "This doesn't match to my hypothesis that the elites need to run the world. Yeah.
The highest IQ or the perfect bloodline or whatever.
Yeah. And so he realized that this was against it. And this is what we call the wisdom of crowds, where the idea was, this was years ago, probably 5 years ago, where this started percolating for the team and where it started developing this concept where I said, what if we take the user method, this idea that we've been doing to pick successful movies, and we take that and we say, what if everybody does the user method at once? And so we built what's called the Angel Guild, where we have everyday people getting together and we all have a common goal. We want values-based movies. And we say, we're all going to vote. We're going to watch the movie and we're going to vote and we're going to say whether or not we want that movie. And then as a group, we will be much more accurate at what we actually want than Jeff Harmon will or anybody else. So as a chief content officer, my job is to build a system that picks good movies, not to pick the movies.
So it's very much a science, not an art. It's other people's arts.
Yeah, we're a tech
the combination of them.
We're a tech company disguised as a studio.
Yeah.
And tech and marketing. And so if you look at Angel Studios, we've actually set it up to where we have the guild, and I can't take a movie as a co-founder of Angel Studios and as a chief content officer, I can't take a movie if the guild vetoes it. Every single movie, every single TV series, every single episode of every TV series has to go through the guild and pass. And if they don't pass it, we can't take it.
So you've built, though, ultimately a culture or an ecosystem of those values-based people.
Yes.
You know, this is not like the Nihilist Guild of America or whatever, like clearly like this is like Angel. Now I know Angel Studios.
The Angel Guild.
It's the Angel Guild. I know Angel Studios, like the name is about angel investor, not so much Angel the Angels, but there's a signal there that people inevitably take away from it.
Yeah. It ended up being a double meaning unintentionally. But if you look at the guild, so we worked on it for years and years. Then we launched it. It was just a little less than 2 years ago to actually like kind of out of beta and started pushing it. And then by December of last year, we had about 500,000 guild members. And and as a guild member, you pay $12 a month, $20 a month. And you get 2 movie tickets to every movie, and you get to vote on all the movies that come in, and you get to watch them early when they come streaming. So it's a community. It's the world's largest community that's supporting filmmakers who want to make values-based content, values-based movies, values-based TV shows. And so there's 1.5 million guild members today. So since December,
it's crazy how quickly you guys have grown.
Yeah, I think we hit 1.5 million guild members yesterday. And
it's wild.
Yeah. And they're paying $12 to $20 a month. And they're actually funding huge amounts of content, huge amounts of TV shows that align with our values and are really good movies. They're amazing.
The signal, though, from the beginning, I mean, The Chosen being one of your landmark or your first big films, right? Or a series, I should say.
Yeah, it was a big series.
That is a clear signal. It's the life of Jesus Christ. Now, I know you're not faith-based, you're values-based, but meaning the content that you've started.
We are the best faith.
Yeah.
Of the last decade, we've distributed
it. Yeah.
The best faith content that there has been. King of Kings. The first 3 seasons of The Chosen, Cabrini, like these are the best there is.
Yeah.
And we've brought them to 100+ million people. But even before The Chosen, we had Dry Bar Comedy, and Dry Bar Comedy is clean. It's stand-up comedy that's safe for families. And there's 750 comedians. It's been viewed 6 billion times by 150 million people. It's a big series.
Wow. And
then we've also got Tuttle Twins, which is teaching economics and freedom to kids.
Yeah.
And Tuttle Twins not only has 400 million views now worldwide, but it also Milei in Argentina, the president of Argentina, just licensed Tuttle Twins for public TV in Argentina. And he said, if they won't let me get rid of public TV, then I'm going to put Tuttle Twins on it.
That is hilarious.
and so
PBS hasn't called you yet, though.
Yeah, but I think what happens is there's a group of people, and they're not wrong. A subset of the values audience, like the heart of the values audience, I think is the faith audience. And we're the best at that. But it's more broad than that. And you have Dry Bar Comedy, you have Tuttle Twins, you have sketch. And so, but if you came in through the faith world, then you've probably only seen the faith content. You know, it's less than half of the stuff inside of the movies inside of Angel, but you've probably just seen faith movies and you go, oh, they're a faith.
Yeah.
They're a faith. And you're not wrong. It is a home for faith, content.
7 Weeks Coffee is America's pro-life coffee company on a mission to fund the pro-life movement and help moms and babies in need. What I love about this coffee is it is from the top 1 or 2% of beans in the world, and it's also mold-free, pesticide-free, ultra-low acid, and organically farmed. And this is where you and I come in. Not only can we subscribe to 7 Weeks Coffee and get the most delicious coffee delivered right to our door, we know that with every single purchase we make at 7 Weeks Coffee, they are donating a full 10% to pregnancy resource centers in need. And a huge congratulations to 7 Weeks Coffee for hitting over $1 million donated to pregnancy resource centers and moms and babies in need. Go to 7weekscoffee.com today. Subscribe and save a full 15% off your order. And when you use the code Lila, you get an additional 10% off your first order. That's a full 25% off your first order at 7weekscoffee.com, and you'll also get a free gift. Order today and help fuel the pro-life movement. A huge thank you to our sponsor, We Heart Nutrition. We Heart Nutrition is America's premier pro-life, family-owned supplement company. These supplements are made in their most bioavailable form for your body for easy absorption and digestion. When I remember to take my vitamins, I feel it. I feel less brain fog, especially when I take the magnesium supplement. And when I forget to take my vitamins, I feel it. And they have a new product over at We Heart Nutrition that I'm excited about. If you know somebody who is concerned about their bone density or their bone health, there's a specific product for your bone health. It's for men and women ages 40 and older. Go to weheartnutrition.com right now and take their 20-second survey to find out the best supplement package for you that is specialized for wherever you are in your life, wherever you are with your health. That's weheartnutrition.com. Use the code Lila at checkout for a full 20% off your order.
As you may know, porn addiction is on the rise for both women and men today. The porn industry is a billion-dollar industry preying off of vulnerable men and women. The good news is that there is a solution, and our show is proud to partner with CovenantEyes.com. CovenantEyes.com is not only something to block explicit material on your phone, your tablet, or your laptop, but CovenantEyes.com is also a community to give you strength to choose good things instead of to choose the destruction of porn. Whether you're a parent protecting your kids, a husband searching for accountability, or a wife searching for accountability, or somebody who just wants to make sure that porn doesn't make it onto your screen, CovenantEyes.com has got you covered. So you can go to CovenantEyes.com and get a free 30-day trial using the code Lila. That's CovenantEyes.com. Use the code Lila for a free 30-day trial. Start your journey to freedom today.
I'm curious how, though, you've developed this brand and this company culture of extremely high bar of excellence. And I think that is something that very definitively sets you apart from other attempts in the values-based world or the faith-based world, because we both know there's a lot of beautifully intentioned people who are creating things from a faith background or a values background that they're not always best in class, right?
Yeah.
And so what Angel has done is really incredible, that you are basically now this magnet to attract the best talent and the best content.
Yep.
But that didn't happen out of nowhere, right? So the ad agency stuff, you were like doing these zany, crazy, successful ads about like potties and all, like, so you guys had like a sense for what was going to like resonate and hit, right?
Yep.
But then you said you called Dallas Jenkins, but then you had tell me about the dry bar comedy part. I mean, because that's...
Yeah, dry bar comedy, the idea was the biggest comedians in the world are like Jim Gaffigan, Jerry Seinfeld, Brian Regan, these ones that are more family friendly, right? And Cosby with an asterisk. But
sad.
Yeah, but he's a great comedian.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't take away the fact that he was a really good comedian.
Totally.
But asterisks, because family friendly is a little complicated now. So all of these comedians were huge megastars. And we're like, why aren't there more of these comedians? And we started digging into it, and we're like, actually, a lot of comedians would like to do family friendly stuff, but they feel like they don't really have that choice. They're doing bars. There's a comedy circuit around the country, and they're going around and they feel kind of stuck in this world. Then there's other ones that are very, very funny, and they would be happy to do a family safe set, but Just never been
hosting
asked.
them? Who's hosting them? Yeah.
Yeah, they've just never been
You
asked.
don't bring your kid to the bar at some late night comedy show.
And so what we did is we just
interesting.
went and asked comedians. We said, look, you're very funny. Can you, one of the co-producers and creators of Dry Bar, he would go to them, his name's Keith Stubbs, and say, come do a clean set. You have like 3 hours of set. You can do 20 to 40 minutes of just pure clean, like family safe set. And so the concept was get very funny comedians. And at first, actually, just step back a little bit. We said, let's go get the Christian comedians. Let's go get the clean comedians that do the church circuits. And it didn't take very long to realize that most of them weren't actually very funny. And because we went and put them on the stage and we're like, oh, they're bombing. They're not doing good.
And you knew they were bombing because
the audience just didn't react very well.
But where did this audience come from? You were just creating a physical event.
Physical event.
And calling friends and family. And it wasn't the church crowd. It wasn't like they were performing for their church and the church was like, good job, guys. It was like an actual legit group of
This is a legit group
people
of
that weren't their friends and family.
They're not going to charity laugh for you, but they're a values audience.
Right.
And so
they laughed at Squatty Potty.
Yeah.
So you guys knew, I mean, that is interesting. Like you did know comedy, clearly.
We do know comedy.
Because you created these literally insanely viral
Some
ads.
of the biggest ads of all time.
That have like tens of millions of views on YouTube that are just super zany, outside of the box thinking to sell like potty products and other products too.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, Dry Bar Comedy, we make it so that moms who are at home taking care of kids or in a minivan or dad's in a minivan, when you're with your kids, this is comedy that's safe for you to listen to. Your kids might not think it's funny because they don't understand it, but it's safe. We don't say family friendly. We say family safe because it's safe for a mom to listen to around her kids without her kids learning bad words, without her kids learning innuendos. Yep. And she can laugh and enjoy it without having to put on the headphones or just shut it off. And that has been a huge success. We've had 750 comedians, 6 billion views, 150 million viewers worldwide.
All exclusively on the app?
Not all exclusively in the app. Dry Bar started outside the app before we had an app.
And then you moved it. Now it's on the app.
Yeah.
So when someone becomes an Angel Guild member, they're getting access to all of that.
Yeah.
In addition to the films.
You get access to lots, and it's a very fast growing library. And you also get a vote. Like if you go into the Angel app right now, last I checked, there's 22 films to vote on. Like you can go vote on 22 different films. You're not going to be able to keep up with the number of films. Well, there's a few people who can keep up, but I can't keep up with them. And so you vote on them and then you give feedback to the filmmaker, and you can actually see filmmakers are commenting on when you give them a comment, they'll sometimes comment back and say, can you give me more clarification? I want to change the movie. For example, Sketch, the movie that's just in theaters right now. And will be on streaming soon. Sketch is a movie that came into the Guild, failed the Guild, and then they removed a lot of language and they removed the Lord's name in vain, and then they succeeded. So they actually cut out swearing and made a cut for the Guild based on the feedback so that they could pass. And they cleaned it up.
So I want to watch the trailer with you in a moment for Sketch. Yep. I'm curious though, just for clarification, how does a film get onto the app initially to be voted on?
How does a film get on the app?
To be voted on.
A filmmaker goes to angel.com/filmmakers and they can read over all the terms and everything, and then they can just submit there.
And it will just show up on the app. Well,
first they submit a portion of their film because we don't want, it costs $250 so that that's to weed out the junk because people who don't have something worthwhile won't pay.
You're like, I love your family videos, but this is not the film for them.
Right. And then they have to submit first like a 5-minute or more scene from the movie.
Okay.
And if that scene passes, then they can submit the whole movie.
And then how many people are going to, of the movies that get on there, like for Sketch, the people that gave that feedback to Sketch, how many people were giving that feedback?
A statistical sample. So there's 1.5 million Guild members, but we have to get enough that it's statistically accurate and that it's not changing anymore. The score,
got it.
The score evens out and it stops moving up and down.
That's so interesting. Yeah. So you get enough of consistent feedback, even if it's a smaller sample size, where it keeps on repeat.
Yeah. So you don't need 1.5 million people to watch the film. You just need thousands, right?
But it's interesting. Back to your original example of Charles Darwin's cousin. It's this idea that even if you take a subset of the people that are voting on the cow or a subset of the people that are voting on the movie, they're going to largely come up with the same thing.
Yep.
But I think that speaks to the alignment of Angel Guild members.
Yes.
Like they want this to work for their families. They care about their families.
Yep.
They have values.
Yep.
They're not, nihilistic,
angels,
raging lunatics. They're like people that care about culture and family. And
if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, which is kind of the premier rating site, and you look at audience reactions, so audience votes, the average Angel movie pre-sketch, I don't know exactly what it is right now, but it was 93% on Rotten Tomatoes for audiences. The next best studio is Paramount 84, and then Disney at the 70s. Like we have the highest satisfaction of viewers in theaters. And the reason why that is because we know before the movie goes to theaters what that audience score is going to be within a few points.
Yeah.
Every time. So Sketch scored an 87 in the Guild. It's at 82 or 83 right now on audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Like they're very close. And so we can predict winners with the audience. Like when you come out of the movie, you're going to be satisfied with the movie because we have the Guild to tell us that they're satisfied.
What is the critics' vote typically? Because I've seen some incredible disparity on Rotten Tomatoes where you have like Hollywood critics who are like, we love this film. And then the people watching are like, that was the worst film ever. Or they're like, we hate this film. And it's like, this was the best film ever.
Critics are the one we cannot predict. Like if we had a guild of critics, we could probably predict it. But critics are all over the place. You've got Cabrini, which scored really high. I think it was 90 with critics. And then you've got like Sound of Freedom, which is in the 40s because they just bombed it.
They hated it.
They hated it. But Sound of Freedom is the single highest rated audience box office, like blockbuster of all time. There is not a higher rated movie than Sound of Freedom with audiences.
Wow.
And it wasn't just a niche market. It's a blockbuster global hit. And it has the highest audience rating of all time. And
it was an amazing film.
Bombed it. But then every once in a while you have something like Cabrini, which actually overcomes the critics' biases because it's so good. The same director as Sound of Freedom. And they actually loved Cabrini.
Yeah.
And they love Sketch.
Yeah.
And the audience loves
Monteverde, right?
Alejandro's the one who can get both of them kind of aligned, except for on Sound of Freedom. He couldn't pull it off on Sound of Freedom.
Well, that was a tough topic.
Well, Sound of Freedom actually started in the 90s and critics. Then just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped as the controversy hit.
Meaning the controversy around the founders of the...
No, controversy around Sound of Freedom was tied to this idea primarily promoted by like Rolling Stone and Media Matters, where they started saying that it was QAnon, which I didn't even know what QAnon was at the time.
QAnon? Yeah.
Is that
like, I don't know how to say
QAnon?
It. Like,
yeah, I don't even.
Those people.
Yeah.
Q.
Well, it's fine. I've learned about what it is now.
No,
but
they made your film. Don't you know that?
They made our movie. And it was really funny because the writer, he didn't know what it was. And this movie started with Fox, the 20th Century Fox, the great Q, the originator. And the movie they started writing the movie long before there was any
Q existed.
And so the writer was like, I guess I'm Q.
I know, exactly.
Right?
That is so funny. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So they attacked it as Q.
Yeah.
And it was about 48 hours before the movie releases. Suddenly we start seeing tons of comments all over the internet within just a very couple hours, just start going, it's QAnon, it's QAnon. And we're like, what is this? And we realized Media Matters sent out a huge blast saying, this is QAnon. And they all, it's like a marching order. Oh. Suddenly just the comments fill up all over the internet.
Yeah.
Q. And fortunately it backfired.
Got more
the movie
attention
still
to the film.
went huge. And there's now laws all around the world called Sound of Freedom laws that are anti-sex trafficking, and presidents of countries all over the world signed declarations that they're going to end child sex trafficking. And like the movie changed the world.
It's amazing.
But even then, it just kind of got politically divisive, and people jumped in their tribes and said, I'm against the movie, I'm for the movie. And you'll usually find that the people who are against the movie never saw it.
Yes.
Because anybody who saw it knows has nothing to do with conspiracy theories.
Yes. Yeah. I feel in good company with Media Matters because they've done hit pieces on me, and it's just so, and live action and, friends of mine. And it's almost like a badge of honor now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Media Matters after, good job. You did it, because they're so off the reservation. Like they do not understand. Yeah. I don't know. It's politically motivated, certainly on their part. But I think if they get a taste of anything that violates their deeply held ideology, that they feel threatened by it, then they're going to try to paint a narrative to try to take down this.
Yeah, they were trying to paint a narrative that child sex trafficking is not a real issue. That this is a fake issue. And it's very real.
Okay, so what's your favorite movie that's made it on Angel?
Right now it's Sketch.
Wow.
Yeah. Sketch is my favorite. And there's some people that will be upset about that, but because some people really don't like this movie. There's a small percentage that, I mean, 80,
you like Sketch more than The Chosen, more
83%.
than, I guess it's like trying to make you pick favorites.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the more recent movies always win out for me. It's more of a recency bias than it is I love The Chosen. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love Cabrini, and I love Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot. And I love Sound of Freedom. Possum Trot's so good.
So good.
And I love Brave the Dark, which came out this spring. Brave the Dark rocks you. And I mean, I love so many of these movies. And
you're like, I'm not even a movie guy.
I'm not a movie guy. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Sketch is just so unique. It's like, when I finished watching it, I was like, it's like Jurassic. I said, it's like Stranger Things and Inside Out 2 had a baby.
Yeah.
But Stranger Things in a way you can watch it, because Stranger Things got really dark.
It got very scary. Yeah. I usually hate anything remotely horror. This is since having kids, actually. Like if you'd asked me 15 years ago, I'd be like, oh, I like watching, The Ring or scary movies. Now I'm like, I have no patience, but it was very endearing Sketch. So let's take a look at the trailer for folks here. And this is designed for what? This is designed for what age?
The Guild says it's 10 plus.
10 plus, okay.
Amber, you're incredibly creative. Here's the thing. Life is all about balancing the good and the bad. If you don't carry the good with you too, then it's just going to make the bad stronger.
That's always kind of been her thing, right? Drawing?
All kids like to draw.
But has she always been so...
Iders.
Iders. She's working through some stuff.
Are we orphans?
No, you have a dad. I'm alive.
Then what are we? What do you call an orphan that still has a dad?
Come on.
Feelings aren't bad. When you get angry, sad, or scared, put it in here, where it can't hurt anyone.
Is everything okay?
I found this place in the woods. We dropped Amber's notebook in it. And now I'm worried that Amber's drawings might be...
What are you talking about? What in the...
I didn't want this. You're not an evil person just because you drew pictures.
I saw an eyeball with legs. When do you see that?
I know we're supposed to be scared of it, but it's kind of beautiful.
Amber was the only one doing what we're supposed to be doing. Not running from the pain, but feeling it.
Watch this. You guys ready? No, I don't want to do this. I have to go to the bathroom. You couldn't have gone before we put all this stuff on? I didn't have to go then. Now I have to go too. Oh my.
Cutest monsters ever.
Yeah. Also, the scariest monsters too, right? There's a couple scary ones.
Yeah, there were, but those were not, they didn't scare me the way that
You thought they might.
the kind of movies I would turn it off because it scared me.
Yeah.
So I don't know about my 5-year-old in this one, although he might actually appreciate it.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't shown it to my kids yet.
We since this movie, at the launch of this movie, we introduced a new feature, and we haven't done it perfectly. But basically, when this got rated PG, we were looking at it and we were saying, okay, some people think PG is the new G. They forget that Goonies is PG, that Jumanji's PG.
Jumanji's terrifying.
There's some really, really scary movies that are PG, and they forget about that, and they assume this is it's Angel's Name, it's colorful, it's bright.
They assume Jonathan Rumy's going to show up and give everybody hugs, and it's like, no.
Actually, we literally had people saying, "Where's Jesus in this movie?" And that's a subset that's only will ever watch anything from Angel that has Jesus in it, and so they're looking at it and saying, I can take little kids to this, and that's our fault for not making it more clear that we implemented a score which we say what we ask the guild when they vote. What's the youngest age that you would say should go to this movie? And the youngest age at the beginning was 8. It's now moved to 10 with more data. But 10 years old plus is where it currently sits, the recommended age for this movie. Some people didn't see that. They didn't know about it. In the future, we're going to make sure it's right next to the PG thing. It says 10 plus. We're going to do better. But some people showed up with little kids.
Like their 3-year-old.
And if you've ever watched a movie that's not age appropriate for the wrong kid and the kid's in the room, it's not a comfortable experience for a parent.
My 3-year-old was scared of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
So yes, you got to be, you just,
and so they came at us after the release of this movie, and we're seeing all these comments coming, and we're like, oh, people are watching this, and there's scary trailers. And then there's this trailer's not as scary. And then we had we had ads that one of the most viewed ads was one that has Zach King, huge YouTuber. And he says, this is Jurassic Park meets Inside Out. And so we thought that would signal to people, if it's Jurassic Park is very scary, meets Inside Out. It's going to be scary and feel good. And adventurous and feel good, that would give, but it didn't do it. It didn't do it right. And we feel really bad that people showed up with little kids. And a lot of them walked out of the theater because it was too scary for them. But overall, the reviews have been excellent for this movie. And the other piece is, and those people I understand. And there's another group of people.
That wasn't that many people, right? I mean, it was
still significant.
Okay.
I mean,
enough to make their voices
when you
heard.
get 600,000 people watching a movie,
that's a lot of people.
A small 1% is still
6,000
right? people. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
And so we messed up on that.
Yeah.
And but then there's another group who are like, this movie's demonic. And that's actually a significant group of people. And they're like, it's demonic. It doesn't fit Angel because
there's monsters in it.
There's a crayon. Yeah. There's a purple crayon demon in the movie that's representative of this girl's deepest anger about her mom, resentment, and things about her mom dying.
Had passed away. Yeah.
And so she's drawing out those feelings, and then that monster comes to life. This purple crayon monster, and it's a scary monster. It's legitimately scary, and
not as scary as Stranger Things.
No, not even close.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I can stomach this. I can do it.
Yeah. And not as scary as Jurassic Park, honestly.
No, not at all.
But not even as scary as, in my opinion, Lord of the Rings.
No, not at all. I agree. The orcs.
Yeah.
The purple dragon had nothing on the orcs. But it was more scary than the little one-eyed.
They're saying you shouldn't show demons at all. And we just called it a monster until they started calling it a demon. I just started calling it a demon because they call it a demon. So I'm just it's a crayon demon. And,
you had that G.K. Chesterton quote?
Yeah, I've got it here.
Or the C.S. Lewis quote.
I've got 2 of them.
Okay, let's go.
These guys went through this. So this director, Seth Worley, he's a Christian guy, very good family guy, and he made a movie that he wants to exist and for his kids. And it's actually based on his daughter drawing really scary pictures, and the pictures in the movie are his daughter's drawings.
That's cool.
So he made a movie with his own kids' drawings to represent what was going on in his own world.
How old was the daughter when she was drawing?
I don't know.
Wow.
But
I didn't know that backstory. That's cool.
Yeah. And so this is G.K. Chesterton, who's a famous Christian fantasy writer.
He's amazing.
And he said, fairy tales do not tell children dragons exist. Children already know that dragons exist. Fairy tales tell children that dragons can be defeated.
I love it.
I love that quote. And this is what's important for parents to understand is you can have a conversation. This is my opinion. You don't need to watch the movie at all. If you don't watch it, it's fine. But you can have a conversation with your kids about defeating and good and evil. And C.S. Lewis covers it this way. He's much more articulate than me. Maybe too articulate. I may have to stumble over the reading. Those who say that children must not be frightened may mean two things. They may mean, one, we must not do anything likely to give a child haunting, disabling, pathological fears against which ordinary courage is helpless. In fact, phobias. His mind must, if possible, be kept clear of things that he can't bear to think of. Or they may mean number two, that we must try to keep out of his mind the knowledge that he is born into a world of death, violence, wounds, adventure, heroism, and cowardice, good and evil. If they mean the first, I agree with them, but not if they mean the second. The second would indeed be to give children a false impression and feed on escapism in the bad sense. There is something ludicrous in the idea of so educating a generation which was born in the era of the atomic bomb, since it is so likely that they will meet cruel enemies. Let them at least have heard of the brave knights and the heroic courage. Otherwise, you are making their destiny not brighter but darker. Nor do most of us find that violence and bloodshed in a story produce any haunting dread in the minds of children. As far as that goes, I side impotently with the human race against the modern reformer. Let there be wicked kings, beheadings, battles, and dungeons, giants and dragons, and let villains be soundly killed at the end of the book. Nothing will persuade me that this causes any ordinary child any kind of degree of fear beyond what it wants and needs to feel. For of course it wants to be a little frightened. Children want to be a little frightened.
Like,
and as a kid,
stories.
I would have loved this movie.
Yeah.
Right. And so Seth Worley makes sure this demon is the bad guy.
Yeah.
And the demon is trying to kill them, and they are defeating the demon.
And I think
the
message too is like trying to keep them in the dark space, right? Is the idea, because there is dark stuff that we have to process in life. There's sin.
Yes.
Sin exists. Evil exists. But if you dwell on the evil or the sin as if it's the end all be all, and the idea of her coloring, right, was to like let it go.
That's right.
And then the demon's trying to keep it, like make it stay.
Yeah.
And then it's like the idea is like, no, let's vanquish the fears or vanquish the evil, and let's be good, or let's be, in harmony together and as a family.
Yep.
It's lovely.
It's beautiful in the movie. I think it's beautiful. And I think that the scariness actually makes the ending more poignant, where Seth Worley did a masterful job of showing how a family can heal from grief in a very parable-like way.
Can you tell us what happens at the end, or you want to save it? Sign up for Angel Guild and find out
just
yourself,
go watch it.
Go watch in the theater.
Go watch it in theaters if it's in your area still, or come watch it. Sign up for the Angel Guild and you can watch it. And it's a great movie in my opinion. How
much more kid content do you think Angel's going to do?
A lot. This year, there are some kids series releasing, like Tuttle Twins, I said, is huge. There's an incredible TV series on Angel called Right in the Dance, which is basically Planet Earth, but with the point of view that there's a creator. And it is beautiful. I love that. And it's crushing. It is so gorgeous.
Is there like an Australian or English accent or Scottish accent?
It's American. This one's an American accent.
Okay, I'm sure it's great.
And this one's different because it's pro-human. In every other nature documentary, it's like, here's nature, and if we ever show a human, it's in a negative way. Or if we ever talk about humans, it's in a negative way. This one's pro-human. He's out in the wilderness with the animals, out in the safari with the animals. And it's just like the way it interlaces the idea of a creator into a nature documentary, it's just never been done. and it is beautiful. That's called Riot and the Dance. My kids watch that.
Riot and the Dance.
Riot and the Dance.
Oh, Riot and the Dance.
It's beautiful.
So that's
film.
already on Angel right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
And it's actually the guy the creator is N.D. Wilson, who is the writer of 100 Cupboards. I think it's 100. I may actually got his book wrong. Did I get that right?
Anyway, N.D. Wilson. N.D. Wilson.
N.D. Wilson. And he's a famous writer.
He's an author.
Yeah, he's an author. And
he has 5 kids.
Another really
100 Cupboards, you got it.
Yeah.
100 Cupboards, yeah.
And then another really wonderful TV series on the system is called The Wingfeather Saga, which is by Andrew Peterson, who's a Christian musician who wrote this best-selling book series. It's a fantasy book series. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings or C.S. Lewis stuff. And it's on its 3rd season right now.
Wow.
And it is a phenomenal series. It's fantasy. It's exciting. It's there is also one called Wayfinders that's coming out. The first episode's already out. And this is more of a like older young kids to teenagers. And it's I don't know, how do I explain it? It's a little bit, it's coming of age series, but they're these kids that get caught between this like alternate world where they go time travel back into the Middle Ages, and there's dragons and all kinds of, but it's based on good principles. Wayfinders is a really big one. There's one coming out next week called A Week Away, the series. This is based on the same director that did A Week Away, the movie that's on Netflix. It was a top 10 on Netflix. Now he's done an entire series, and it's about a Christian summer camp. But it's High School Musical meets a Christian summer camp. And you would think this is cheesy and campy, but it's very self-aware and it's super funny. And the music is stunning. It's so good. There's another one coming out called Miracles. This one's more of the whole family. And Miracles is a series where they follow, I think it was Harvard or Stanford professor who went and studied miracles that happen in ministries.
Yeah.
And was trying to decide if there was real scientific backing for them.
Love it.
And so this series is going through all the stories of these miracles. Anyway, there's a lot coming.
So the business model for the creator, for the filmmaker, is that they get paid once it's on the app, and then they get promotion, and then they get an opportunity for angel distribution if it's chosen by the guild.
Yes.
That's how that works.
Yeah. So the filmmaker needs to bring us at least what we call a torch. Mm-hmm. So if you go back to the 1800s and you look at Frederick Bartholdi, a great artist who made the Statue of Liberty, he wasn't able to fund the Statue of Liberty, and governments wouldn't fund it. So he went to the crowd. He was able to get enough money to build a hand and a torch. He set it up in Paris, and he started crowdfunding his big idea. He wanted the biggest statue in the world to be a biggest art piece in the world to be around the biggest idea in the world, which was the United States. And so he goes and he crowdfunds off of this torch the entire Statue of Liberty. And people don't realize the Statue of Liberty wasn't given by the French government. It was given by the French people.
Wow.
And so we've taken that concept and we say, you got to bring a torch. You got to bring 5 minutes of your movie. And then from there, we can help filmmakers work their way to a full series or to a full movie. And some filmmakers bring us entire movies finished because they already made them. And that's the way Cabrini came. That's the way Sound of Freedom came. They bring an entire movie completely done, or it can be like the way that Chosen was, where they had a pilot episode, a short film, and then they built a series after that.
I am really excited for Zero AD.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a preview we can watch for that?
Yeah, there's a new trailer.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that, because this is, I think that Mary is so misunderstood as not the main character, because Jesus is the main character, of course, but as the essential supporting actress, in the gospel's narrative. And she's such she's my inspiration. You've got Our Lady in the Guadalupe on the wall behind you right now. By the way, that's another film that would be amazing. Our Lady of Guadalupe story, because when she appeared to the Mexican or the Aztecs at the time, within like a few years, 6 million people were baptized and converted to Christianity.
I didn't know this story.
And they stopped human sacrifice.
I know Alejandro and
Yeah, I'm gonna call Alejandro. Be like, what?
Yeah.
Where's that movie? It's coming your way. Angel Guild members, it's coming your way. I'm sure eventually. But let's take a look at the Zero AD film. Very pumped for this movie. And this is going to be a tough one too, because the reality is the story of Jesus's birth and
Herod killing the innocents.
It's so heavy. So let's take a look.
Do you believe the prophecies? They claim a great king should take my throne. There's only one king, and that is Herod. If you wish to prove your loyalty, you know how. Tonight, darkness hides in the form of a child. Snuff out the darkness, and the light of honor will shine. You will unleash all the powers of hell.
Who you fear, he is. He is.
You can still choose which king to serve. Salvation is not what you imagine.
My son, I do not know what weight you must carry. But I know you have come to reveal God's deepest secret. Love is stronger.
This one's not a kid
That's
movie.
a little heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. This movie,
a different nativity.
Yeah, it's a very different nativity, and it's got a killer cast.
Yes.
Like Sam Worthington is an Avatar. He's the biggest actor in the world right now.
Wow.
Basically, he's in the movie,
cool.
And Jim Caviezel, who everybody knows, is
he's not playing Baby Jesus.
He's not playing Baby Jesus. He's Herod. He's in the fat suit. And he is a
tough times.
Terrifying bad guy.
Yeah, I'm scared watching the trailer.
Yeah, I think Jim Caviezel is going to surprise people at how scary of a bad guy he is.
I think it's such a pro-life film. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to see it soon. But I think it's such a pro-life film because it's about Jesus came into the world as an embryo.
Yeah.
The incarnation is the ultimate pro-life story. The
yeah,
value
like
of
I said earlier, it's Zero AD is Mary conceives.
Yes.
Right, that's Zero. Is when the angel visits her, she conceives. Zero, and then from there on, and then Herod's killing babies.
Yeah.
Which also is symbolic.
Yeah. Yeah, the devil hates babies, which is why I say often abortion is demonic, because it's basically, it's our modern version of human sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right? It's what, like Our Lady of Guadalupe appearing to the Aztecs and convicting them and wanting them to fall in love with Jesus and reject human sacrifice. Yeah. We need to have, I think, that conversion, but stories help us with that conversion.
Yeah. And there's a big question for us, whether or not this will be, the MPA rates movies, and the subject matter in this is pretty tough. So we're like, is this going to be R? Is this going to be PG-13?
Yeah. I don't know. How graphic does it get?
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
You're still finalizing that.
It's still in editing.
Yeah. I always would, when it comes to like children being harmed in film, I'm always like,
I don't know if it'd be about graphicness. It might just be subject matter is really tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it has to do with children being harmed.
Yeah.
My sort of unofficial Angel Guild member vote, which I know just counts for one, but maybe the rest of them would agree with me, is like, you can suggest the evil without showing any of it.
Yeah, that's right.
What is your vision for the future of Angel Studios?
Well, in order to build a competitor to Netflix or to Disney, it takes a lot of capital. Movies cost a lot of money to make. And so Angel's on a very good start. 1.5 million guild members, hundreds of millions of dollars of box office, huge successes, right? But the next phases require access to capital markets.
So you want to be bigger than Netflix? Is that where we're headed with this?
I don't know.
You actually educated me earlier. I'm like, it's an $8 billion company, right? And you're like,
Netflix is like
the revenue,
300 plus billion.
The spend is $8 billion a year, right?
Yeah, I think they spend something like $8 billion a year on movies and TV series. Yeah.
You guys are coming for them. I vote Angel all day long.
I always say, because Netflix isn't really like tackling the values-based market.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, their official statement is they needed to become HBO before HBO became them. Right. So they're going after very different market.
Yeah, interesting.
Our focus is the values-based market, which moves more into Disney's world.
Do you think that market is growing right now?
I think it's a huge market that has gigantic appetite that's just left a gaping hole. Disney just like cratered their market. There's very little trust. They still do some great movies here and there.
Yeah, it's true.
But as a whole, people just are like, I can't trust this. And our goal with Angel is that even though the Guild won't vote for movies that you love every time, it will have a better batting average. The goal is that the Guild is going to have a better batting average than any studio. There is no other studio that's letting a guild, something like the Angel Guild, actually the viewers veto movies. If you get on the Guild and you vote down a movie and it doesn't pass the Guild, as a founder, I can't take the movie. I can't publish it.
Have you guys vetoed before? Have films actually gotten vetoed?
Over 95% of them don't make it. I think it's around 95%. I don't have the exact.
Was there one that you really liked that didn't make it? You don't have to share.
There
really?
are ones. And the first time, Sketch didn't make it the first time.
They had to take out bad words.
They had to take out a bunch of language.
Amazing.
And
I love that. I love that.
Right.
So, I mean, as a mom, that makes me so happy that there's, instead of like buying the parental control that you put as a filter on your content and you're like the sex scenes and the bad language. It's like, what are we doing here, guys? It's like we can actually
just do our own content.
It's a built-in
our
system.
Own stuff, right? Yeah. Our own stuff. And actually we are going to, in addition, there's still some swearing in Sketch. There's I think there's 5 or 6 swear words in it, and there's some swearing in Last Rodeo. And there's some swearing in Brave the Dark. Brave the Dark's another one where they submitted it one time and then they had to pull out a bunch of language in order to pass. But there's still some language in it. And so we're actually building a system where you'll be able to, when you click play, you'll be able to pull up and say, I want to watch the version without the language.
I love it.
And it'll just skip them. It just skips the words. It like mutes the sound and just skips it out automatically, like an automatic remote control.
Yeah.
Or like when
they can just dub it, right? If it's like the D word, be like, oh darn.
We're not dubbing it, but just very
like that's a little too involved.
Yeah. Well, also filmmakers don't want you to they're okay with the remote control. They don't want you to like
change their art.
Yeah, change it.
That's fine.
So remote control muting and fast forwarding, that filmmakers aren't bothered as much by that, and you're choosing what to mute and fast forward, but the changing and adding a voice would be an issue for them. What happens is it's also like the beginning of you're watching a series and you click skip intro. Same kind of concept. Great. It's just automatic and it'll skip over. It's
great.
The swears, and that's actually releasing the first version of that. We'll be releasing with Sketch.
Oh wow! When Sketch leaves theaters and hits streaming, and that's coming up soon.
Yep.
Thank you, Jeff, for what you're doing. I mean, truly, I think it's a gift to humanity.
Thank you.
It is. It is. I'm a big fan, and I know the best days are in front of you guys, and I just think it's so needed today.
It's a movement. Like if you look at it, we're just kind of we're kind of organizing a company, but what's happening is it's 1.5 million guild members and this growing group of people who are saying, filmmakers, we will support you if you if you just make the stuff we want. Just make what we want and we will support you. We will give you money. We will help you give feedback on your films. We will help you make great movies. And Hollywood is full of amazing craftsmen. They are the best in the world. The United States has the very best group of talent in the world for making stories. And most of them don't mind making faith content. They don't mind making values content. They actually like, as long as it's great art They love it. You can see the cast of Zero AD, amazing cast, because they love making great art. They're not worried about whether it's nihilistic or not. The nihilism is coming from a little tiny group of people, just like the journalism world, the publishing of news. There's like a half dozen people. Elon Musk said this, I don't know, like 2 years ago, a year ago. He said there's like 6 people who control the entire narrative of the news cycle. 6 people. Same in Hollywood. There's a couple dozen people who they're gatekeepers who make all the decisions about everything that goes to theaters and what the narrative is going to be. And they're the ones adding in all the nihilism and requiring this. The filmmakers are actually very open, and they're more agnostic in the way that they look at it. They just say, if it's great art, I want to make the ones about faith. And if it's great art, I'll make the ones about nihilism. I just want to make great stuff. That's what they're thinking. And so as soon as the guild gives them the option, and as a guild member, you say, I'm going to pay you. We're going to pay you. And there's enough of us that we can pay actually good checks. And it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger to where we can compete head to head as the Angel Guild versus the old Hollywood. And that guild and the old gatekeeping system of Hollywood, that guild will fund, I think, some of the greatest stories that will ever be told will be from this system. And so it makes me really excited. I think we're onto something big.
You're already doing something big, but it's going to keep getting bigger. It's very cool. Thank you, Jeff. And how can people find Angel Guild? Go to angel.com and you can just sign up for the guild right there. And and as a guild member, you get to vote on all the content. You get to veto stuff you don't want. You get to give feedback to the filmmakers, and you get 2 movie tickets to every movie release, so you can go support them in theaters. Amazing. How much was that URL? Angel.com. I think we paid $2.1 million for it, but we actually got a really good deal. It was bought by the people before us for like $100 million. According to, there's a guy named Michael Saylor, who's a big Bitcoin guy. He bought the original one, and he told us, he's like, how'd you get this domain? And we said, we bought it for two something million dollars. Yeah. And he's like, how'd you do that? I sold it for like 100 million. What? Yeah. Yeah. That's a total side note. That's a God thing. Was that a God thing? Yes. It must have been. Yeah. It's amazing that we got that URL, angel.com. When did you get that? Was that recent? A few years ago. Nice work. Yeah. Well, you guys are business people and creatives, so the chief content officer, though. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. This is amazing. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Lila Rose Show. Make sure that you're subscribed. I thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed already, but it's still 60 to 70% of people listening to the channel are not yet subscribed. So hit that subscribe button and make sure that you never miss a future episode. Thanks so much, and we'll see you guys next time. A huge thank you to our partner, EWTN, the largest religious broadcaster in the entire world. EWTN is reaching millions of people every single day with the beautiful truth of the gospel. You can watch new episodes of The Lila Rose Show 24 hours before they hit podcast app over at EWTN.com/on-demand.